Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday. Got to pull some more stuff. And I'm pretty sure that eBay hates me. Give me just a minute. I'll get set up. I'll get right back with you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Max. I am the fast talking flipper. Angie, that's her, Angie. She's actually out here today. Normally she's inside or I filmed too early or something. She's actually out here today. She's my better half. She's the other part of the channel. She does all the behind the scenes. What are you looking at me for like I'm crazy? She just shot daggers at me. I gotta watch what I say when she's out here. Maybe I should wait to film till later. Just kidding. Anyway, we are the Fast Talking Flipper channel, and we're resellers. We buy low, we sell high. We go to yard sales, flea markets. We haven't been to a flea market in a hot minute, though. Go to yard sales, flea markets, thrift stores, anywhere you can think of where you can buy something, we'll buy it low and put it somewhere else where we can sell it higher. It's usually online, usually with eBay. I keep saying that I need to research. I did set up a Mercari account, do have a Poshmark account. I did start looking in the list perfectly, but I haven't pulled the trigger on doing any cross-listing. A lot of you guys have been telling me, hey, just shut up and list because you keep making excuses. Well, okay, I did. And we're up to 850 listings. I think we got down as low as like 730 at one point, maybe about a month or so ago. That's part of the good thing about when you sell or when your sales are dwindling. It's easy to get your numbers up. So we're up to like 850 listings and pushing for 1,000 before we start to go into the bin where you have, you know, excess listings that you can kind of pull and drop 10 a day. I think that's kind of where I want to be before we start having some, you know, overflow backup listings. eBay sucked again this weekend. We did okay last week. I think we're still doing, you know, $5,000, $6,000 a month, somewhere in there. At least that's what our 90-day total tells us. I think we're at like 21,000 for a 90-day total. So that includes your shipping, unfortunately. And I don't like the way that they change things like that because I don't know exactly what percentage of our sales shipping is. I think it's probably close to 10%, give or take. So, you know, 21,000 for 3 months isn't terrible. I'll take it. I'm not upset with it. I would rather be closer to 30,000, 33,000 probably is where I would want to be. So that's where I'm at with that. But the weekend sucked again. I did start listing. We started listing a little bit heavier over the weekend, got us over the hump of 850. As of this morning, had 854. So that's pretty good for our store. That's the most I think we've ever had, isn't it? 850? Do you think?
Yeah, that's the highest we've ever.
Yeah, that's the most we've ever had in our store. You know, when I first started this journey last June, it was like terrifying to me to have 20 items listed. I just didn't like the idea of having inventory floating around. And now we've got a whole inventory system that you can see in a whole shed, in a whole building where we do nothing but this and have everything organized by bin, by number, and so on and so forth. So it's organized chaos, but 850 is pretty good for us. I'd like to see it closer to 1,000. I'm going to push for that. I think we have the inventory to get it there. Yard selling, we just, you know, this weekend wasn't all that great. I did put out a video about that over the weekend. It wasn't a great weekend, but we've got some stuff coming up that I think there's going to be some bigger yard sales and bigger community sales. That's the hardest for us, is that we're in such an area where there's not a lot of communities that are close, where, you know, like I've got 6 acres. My neighbor has 4 acres. The neighbor behind us has hundreds of acres. The neighbor across the street has dozens of acres and so on. So when you're driving down the road, you don't see yard sale. There's not house after house after house. On our 3 miles of road in a suburban setting, you would have hundreds and hundreds of houses. We have 70, and that's a lot on 3 miles of road for out here. So you just don't see it like that. But we do have a couple community sales coming up that I think we'll be able to get some more inventory, at least a higher amount of inventory coming in. So this weekend sales, again, abysmal. 5 items, $296. It's gross. Not happy with it at all, but it is sales and it does keep things rolling. Did get an item moving out of here that we've had for a long time, a Barbie and Skipper. This is a case. It's not in good shape. It's big. It's bulky. It was a bad buy, but it was one of the first things that we ever bought to flip. I think it gave $1 for it. This was at a really good yard sale, actually, where I bought something for 50 cents that sold for like $110. It was like a handheld CB radio or something along those lines. believe this was at that sale. You can see not in the best overall condition, but you know, $1. It took way too long to sell. It's probably been sitting for 9 months, since like last July, I think, last August, something along those lines. I did sell for $17.99 plus shipping, so you know the profit margin isn't terrible on it. Next item, I'm not going to pull this because it's still over in the music barn. We haven't moved all this fragile stuff. Fragile, it's Italian, and it's still trickling out. The blue Garland Johann Haviland set that we bought, and it's, God, we've made so much money off that thing. What a great set. That's one of the very few sets of dishes. Angie's over there like, yes, that was my purchase. Thank you very much. And she was right. I didn't want to do it. And I still don't like it, but it makes money. So it's like, yeah, it's one of the few that I will say, buy dishes. Don't buy dishes. Never, ever buy dishes except for this one dish set. But this one was this person must have lived their life to collect blue Haviland. Like that's the only thing they could have possibly ever done. There were so many pieces. I would guess that there was probably 200 pieces of blue Haviland in this set, and we bought it from an online auction. We gave $37 plus tax and fees and whatever. I'll say we have $50 total into it, and if we have 50 into it, we've probably made $1,000. I think at one point I sat down and calculated it out, and it was well over $800 that we had made months ago back then. So we've way made our money over on it, and it still trickles out. We still have a few pieces left, but this is a 6-piece set of bread plates. They sold for $19.99. We still have 5 sets of those available, so we've still got plenty over there. The next item is a glow shift gauge. This came with a car that I bought. Not a high dollar item. Where is it at? There it is. It definitely wasn't something that I figured into the profit when I bought the car. It just came with it. You know, it was something that was kicking around in the box or in the car itself. Here it is. Just a little glow shift. I think it's a boost gauge, right?
Water temp.
Water temp. Why would they have this on that car? That's why it never got installed, because it's a water temperature gauge. And that doesn't make any sense because the car already has water temperature built into the dash where you can just see it. So it just sat around and never got installed. $29.99 on that particular one plus shipping, so that's going to go out of here. Next one, not going to pull this either, but I bought it. Did we release the video on this one yet? Should have, I think. Bought this one a couple weekends ago, not last weekend, but the weekend before. Gave $15, I think. 15, something like that, $20 maybe for 14 Stephen King books. Yeah, something like that. $20 I think is what I gave for him for 14 Stephen King books, and it sold for $129.99. I must have priced it too low because it sold in hours, but I knew I was leaving plenty of room on the table to make some profit if somebody wanted to part it out. I just don't want to deal with older books like that. It's not. I knew that I was going to make money, and sometimes that's the best thing to do. We wanted to generate sales, so I priced it low. I knew that it was going to leave room, and I wanted to turn that money over and get money flowing, and that's exactly what it did. I didn't think it was going to sell that quick. There were a couple books in there that I thought maybe could sell by themselves individually for $20 to $30 because researching about books like that, you can, I guess on the very last page of print, there is a little number that's inside the spine. Like if you open it up and you look, there's a little number, and that number corresponds with a year and a week as to when that thing was printed. And with that, you can tell when it was printed in the print run. And some of these were not early, but mid-early first printings. So that was kind of cool, but they weren't like Salem's Lot or anything like that. If it was a Salem's Lot, I would have listed that separately. If it was a very early first printing, I would have listed that separately. If it was an older book like Salem's Lot, that would have definitely gotten listed separately. But none of them were like that. They were, $20, $30 mediocre books that I just didn't want to deal with having 14 different listings, especially when some of the ones that were in there were $5 books. Some of the later ones into the 90s where they're just not as collectible. And sometimes that's what you do to get the poop to go out. You drizzle a little diamonds across the top and it makes the crap go away. as an auctioneer, when I'm cleaning out an estate and I put together box lots, I do that. I dress up, I polish a turd by putting something nice on top of a box lot that I don't think will get a bid. And in order to get that box lot, in order to get that one nice item, you have to take my crap with it. And it's important for that stuff to walk away. In that setting, it's more important for that stuff to walk away and not have to accrue labor on making it disappear versus, maximizing, I might get $5 for that lot instead of getting $10 out of that one individual item, but I made the crap disappear that would have cost me $10 worth of labor to make that disappear, if that kind of makes sense. So that's kind of my thought process about why I priced that as low as I did. Maybe it was a little bit too low. Probably could have squeezed another 30, 40 bucks out of it, I'm guessing. But hey, it's sold, it's gone, it's going to go see a new owner, and I'm happy with that. I think this is our last one. Yep. And this is a pin light by Blue Point. Little magnetic pickup tool. B1 Smalls. It's up here. I don't know that I can find this. I think it's in the back of it. I'll tell you about it. It's something that we had extras of for whatever reason. I'll just tell you about it. And Angie will flash it up on the screen, I'm sure. Snap-on sends us all these tools. Snap-on is Blue Point. Blue Point is Snap-on's lower end brand. And at the school that I teach at, I teach automotive. The kids all get tools through the automotive program. And with that, Snap-on had sent us a whole bunch of these, a handful of these, and I handed them out to everybody I could. I was like, "Here, Mr. Janitor, you want a Snap-on pin light?" And he's like, "Yes, sir." And I handed them out to people in the hallways. I handed them out to everybody that I possibly could. My kids got tired of seeing them, so I had a handful left, and I said, "Okay, well, I'll take these home with me." So after a couple of weeks of just having them kicking around, I took them home, and these were a couple leftovers that I had. Thanks, Snap-on. Appreciate it. This was, I think, the first one to sell. I don't think we've sold. Well, we might have sold one before, but they're not expensive. They're pretty cool to have. $21.99 plus shipping. It looks like easy shipper. It's going to go out of here. So that's the way it has been through the week. It seems to be doing better. We're still doing 3 to 5, 6, sometimes 7 items a day, averaging decent money through the week. But the weekends, man, they just get abysmal. And we thought that there was going to be a Friday where we had no sales at all. And it was gross. Our car parts in the last 10 days, I think, I've sold 3 transmissions, and the car parts are doing okay. We're having stuff flow out of here. So we're making decent money because transmissions are one of the most sought after parts with these cars. I get these cars in and I don't know sometimes, the car will come in. The person that I get it from seems a little shady, we'll call it. And I don't know if I can 100% trust their story. So when I get the car in and the motor is blown in it, I can't test the transmission. And I call those my May pops because they're May pop transmissions. They might pop, they might not. I don't know. The story is, and I'll give the story with that transmission. I sell those much cheaper than I do my tested good running driving transmissions because I can't put it out there that these are going to be good. And I don't want to put it out there that they're going to be good. If I give it as, here's my arm's length, good luck. It is what it is. If it blows up on you or if you put it in and it doesn't work, you're rolling the dice. If you put it in and it does work, hey, good for you. You won. But don't come back at me. So my normal transmission price is $1,500. My Maypop price is $500. It's a significant difference. So it is intriguing to people. They come in and they look at them and they say, okay, well, I'll give that a try. And I've sold 2 of those in the last week, and I sold a full priced transmission also. So we did pretty good, as far as car parts go. And then the other little trickle out stuff that normally comes with those kind of sales. But I am starting to get low on inventory. I am down to just the 1 car. I think I mentioned that in one of my other videos. That's it. I need to get that started. I need to get it pulled over and start pulling the parts off of it because I'm going to keep parts for my HHR. We need to do a video on that, not only for you guys, but also some of the people in the car groups that I'm in. They want to see running, driving videos and see some detail about it. So that would be a good long-term documented project because we're going to have that thing for at least a year, if not 2. Just depends on, what we get into it with it and how much fun we have with it. I can't see us owning it very, very long term. Just it's not a practical vehicle, and what we do is not. I don't know. You never know. We might do something to it and be like, man, I really love this car. Right now, it's just miles per mile. It doesn't get. It's not practical at all. It gets like 6 miles to the gallon, and it takes premium gas. It gets pretty expensive real quick. So yeah, we'll do a video on that at some point in the future. But that's where I'm at. eBay hates us, and $300 in sales this weekend. Blech. Not happy with that, but hopefully we'll have some more sales. I'm going to get down, and hopefully by the next video that I do, I'll have 900 items listed. That's kind of my goal in the next 2 days, is get to up to 900 items, and we'll do our normal stuff through the week. But remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. You guys have been great about doing all that. I love conversing with you guys, getting some good input. You guys yelling at me saying shut up and just go list, and we'll see you on the next one.